Marc Raimondi for ESPN, back with you today with one of the most influential managers in the sport of mixed martial arts, Ali Abdelaziz of Dominance MMA. Ali, there's a lot to talk with you about. You have, fighters who are UFC champions fighting soon. You have fighters who are coming out of retirement. You have PFL champions. You have Bellator, possibly soon to be champions. A lot to get to. Wanted to start out though first with Gilbert Burns. Your client had one of the best fights I think I've ever seen on Saturday night at UFC 273 in Jacksonville, of course, against Khamzat Chimaev. Did not win the decision, but I don't think his stock went down in any way, shape, or form. What do you think is next for Gilbert, and how do you think that fight went for him?
First of all, I think this is one of the best fights I've ever seen. Outside Frankie Edgar, like Gray Maynard, this kind of fights, is in the same category. Listen, at the end of the day, it was a lot of hypes coming behind Khamzat, this fight. The kid is good. He's tough, and nobody gave Gilbert any respect. Nobody. I don't think even he did.
The odds were crazy. Their odds were crazy on that fight.
It doesn't matter. MMA odd doesn't really work. You know what I'm saying? If your name is not Khabib or Kamaru Usman, some of these guys odd, it really doesn't work.
Where do you think Gilbert goes from here? And now that I know that he lost the fight, but I don't think that does anything to hurt him in any way.
I think Gilbert, was coming to die in this fight. I think he will said, I'm gonna die. I'm gonna be killed or be killed. And they both listen. You have to give it to both guys. I think we know where's Khamzat at his level. We know where's Gilbert. We always know where is Gilbert at. And listen, it's one of the best division in the UFC. It's a lot of great matchups. The matchups I always want to see is Gilbert and Kobe, because I think it's very intriguing matchup. But I think maybe Dana have planned with Khamzat and Kobe or whatever. Doesn't really matter at this time. You can see Gilbert, Sean Brady. You can see Gilbert fight. If Bellator win, you can see Gilbert fight Bellator win or lose, because we know Gilbert is not going to fight Vicente. It's a lot of. You can see Gilbert fight Nick Diaz. Gilbert come back fight Nick Diaz and come back. I think he deserves this type of fight. You can see Gilbert fight Nate Diaz. But I think Nate is going to fight probably this green guy, bullshit guy. But I think listen. But we know it was very important fight to let you know where's Khamzat at, where's Legacy at, where's Kamaru at, where's Kobe at. We know, where is everybody at, level-wise, And I think it was a great fight, great event, and you got to give respect to both guys.
So now Khamzat gets the win on Saturday. Do you think that's enough to get him the title shot against another one of your clients, Kamaru Usman? And I know that Usman has Leon Edwards coming up in the summer, but could Khamzat be his opponent if he gets by Edwards?
Kamaru never said no to nobody. We were chasing people down hotel rooms and lobbies to fight with people for years. Listen, if the UFC say makes sense, and if that's what they want, but I believe that the right guys, Leon Edwards. How are we going to say no to him? I think our ride will start, especially England, become a hot market again, but Khamzat is young, If you want to beat Khamzat, you fight him now. You understand? Because you're still young in the sport. Remember, you have 5 fights. But I think it's an up and echelon in this division. I think everybody else, it is Kamaru. But when you talk to Kamaru, it's a complete different class. We saw, and I'm telling you, Khamzat in 2 more years, it's going to be very, very hard to beat. But right now, he's human. He can beat everybody. People can beat him. We saw dominance, 129 to 1 punch, right? After this fight, I think Gilbert landed 119 punch. But listen, the kid is good. I see him train. I know what he can do. Nothing but respect for him, his team. You have Andre, his coach. I love this guy. His whole team. They're good people, and if you stick with them and listen to them, I think he's gonna do well in life. But now his big decision if the UFC really want to push him to the title now or not now. It's a very big decision. And you know Dana like to make big fight, and he's going to put him in big fight because he have a lot of hype.
So Usman, like you said, Edwards is next up. Do we know a time frame? I know obviously Usman is still recovering from hand surgery.
Sometime in July.
Sometime in July. Okay.
Yes.
So that's for sure. And then another fighter who could be challenging Usman, who could be number one contender, is the winner of Saturday's fight between another one of your, two of your clients, Vicente Luque, Belal Muhammad. How do you deal with that, by the way? You have two clients fighting. I know you've dealt with this before in big fights, Usman versus Gilbert Burns being one of them. But, what do you do when two of your clients are fighting like they will on Saturday?
Let me tell you, because I don't think in history, I don't think, any manager experienced what they experienced. Henry Cejudo, Marlon Moraes, pay-per-view. I never went to the fight. Justin Gaethje versus Khabib. I stayed neutral. Kamaru was my best friend. But when Kamaru beat Gilbert, I left to my house and I saw Gilbert first, not Kamaru. At the end of the day, they're gonna fight. I will not be at the fight. Whoever loses, I'm gonna go see him first, and the win, I'm gonna see him after. And we all respect each other. We're all brothers. Dominance MMA is a culture. We are a culture. We have to respect each other. We keep respect with between among us. And Belal might win, and Kobe might say no. You might see Belal versus Khamzat.
Right.
Vicente might win. Kobe might say no to Khamzat. And Kobe is the type of guy who will say no to this kind of fight. You might see Vicente versus Khamzat, right?
Right.
It's a lot of things that's gonna happen, right?
I wanna change gears and ask you about Henry Cejudo, who is back in the USADA pool as of Monday. He's going to be coming back. Former flyweight champion, former bantamweight champion, Olympic gold medalist. Very exciting to have Henry back in competition after 2 years of retirement. Have you spoken to Dana White at all in the UFC about who Henry might fight next? I know he may want to go to featherweight and fight for that title. Any indication of what the plans might be for Henry's return fight?
Listen. When it comes to Dana and these guys, I respect these guys very much, and they respect me too. All of them. Sean, Mick, Hunt, all of them. But at the end of the day, I told Henry, I'm not going to talk. If you want to talk, get in USADA pool. And I'm going to talk. And everybody know I know how to talk. Respectful talk. Business talk. And I told him, put Triple C on the side, bring the Olympic champ back. And me and him talked yesterday. I made a phone call. He went to USADA. Hunter called me 5 minutes later, right? Is Henry not getting things? I say yes. Is Henry serious about fighting? Yeah, 100%. Listen, and our subject, Alexander from the champ, 145 champ, Alexander, I respect this man. I'm a huge fan. But today, Henry Cejudo is 2-division champion, Olympic gold medalist. You said he need to prove himself in the division? Like it makes no sense. It's much bigger fight, you and Henry, than Max. And I love Max and I respect Max. But I'm talking about Henry's been in the media more than 95% of the fighters in the last 2 years. But how are you gonna say he needs to prove himself? He's a 2-division champion. And I'm not saying anything against Alexander. Honestly, I love watching him. I'm a fan actually. But at the end of the day, Henry believes he can beat you. Simple. You compete, and you compete against high caliber athlete. You telling me he's beating Korean Zombie on his record, or Henry Cejudo? Which one is better?
Henry Cejudo. I mean,
okay, that's all about it. When the legacy gonna go down, they're not gonna see he went up from weight division. They're gonna see 2-division champion, Olympic gold medalist, Henry Cejudo, right? But at the end of the day,
when Henry retired, I mean, I think he was top 3 pound for pound in the world, right? Something like that, top 4. I mean, he was one of the best in the world when he retired.
Listen, at the end of the day, he's the champ. The 145 champ. He do whatever he wants. But I'm talking about if you have anybody understand anything about business and fighting, people around him, I'll be calling Henry Cejudo every day. He's a smaller guy. He haven't fought for almost 2 years. He gonna sell the fight. Because if they both walk in the street, you telling me people gonna recognize who? Henry Cejudo. Henry can come back and fight Aljamain. I love Aljamain. I'm happy for him. But I think nobody at 135 pounds can even tie Henry's shoes. They cannot. Henry Cejudo was sparring with guys fighting and giving everybody the business. And you can see him, little short, fat guy. But I'm telling you, these guys can fight. If MMA have 10 rounds, nobody up to 145 can beat Henry Cejudo. Nobody. Because
would it have to be a title fight for Henry in his return? I mean, would that have to be, was that kind of the contingency? Like it has to be a title fight.
Listen, the UFC will never put him in non-title fight. The guy he gave two belts back to Dana White, said thank you. Yeah. He didn't hold the belt back. He didn't hold them hostages. And he said, I'm out. Now when he come back.
Couple more questions for you. I want to ask you about another two of your clients who might actually end up fighting too, Islam Makhachev and Beneil Dariush. And I know that fight was scheduled already for this year. Beneil broke his leg, unfortunately, and he had to pull out. Where is that at? And do you think Islam will have to fight Beneil before he gets the title shot, or do you think Islam could go right into the title now?
Listen, I love both guys. I was having dinner with Beneil actually yesterday. Did I want to see them fight? No, absolutely not. But I do not want to. They're such two great people. And I think at the end of the day, Islam on 10 fight winning streak or 9, Beneil got hurt, I can see, Beneil fighting, have Beneil fight Condor on the way come back. If you talk about deserving and timing, I think Islam is next.
Yeah,
that's what I think.
I agree.
You're going to Abu Dhabi, but if Justin Gaethje win, Justin Gaethje is not going to Abu Dhabi. You can pay him $3 million. There's no way he's going to go. Yeah, he's not going, right? And I think we all have to see what happened at May 7th, but you cannot deny Islam Makhachev. You just cannot. How?
Last thing, another one of your clients, Kayla Harrison, is getting ready to start the PFL season coming up here in a few weeks. She's a two-time PFL lightweight champion. She was a free agent. She signed back with PFL. There are still some people who are, I guess, criticizing a little bit because they wanted to see her in the UFC. They wanted to see her against Chris Cyborg. Why back in the PFL? And do you think we could maybe see some of those fights in the future?
I want you to give me names who criticizing her, because I want to talk about these people.
Well, I don't know. Well, they're people on Twitter. I don't know if they have.
No, I know some fighters, some very well-known fighters. Tell me the names. Who's been talking about her?
I don't know. Are there fighters talking about it? Maybe Julian Pena, I think, maybe said something the other day.
Okay, let's talk about Juliana. And I like Juliana. Juliana fought this fight, make $200,000, maybe 200, maybe 250. Kayla Harrison makes 7-figure every fight. Kayla Harrison have a stipend. Kayla Harrison have everything she can ask for.
Yeah.
If you do not, Kayla Harrison, the people who maybe make more money outside Kayla Harrison in the UFC now, maybe Kamaru and Condor. Outside that, I guarantee nobody can even close what she's making. She's gonna make in 5 months what champion don't make in the whole career. For Juliana to criticize Kayla, she tried to go to Bellator. She went to Bellator. WSF come in, Don Davis, Pete Murray, Ray Seffel. They said, no, we have money too. We're gonna match this deal. Legally, by law, we have to do that. Kayla even she have a choice, we have to do that. PFL have put on a big pants. They give big respect for that. Bellator put on they give big respect for that. Scott Coker, Mike Cogan, all these guys. And this is why I never have a fighter went to free agency. Now I understand what free agency look like, right? Kayla, she can fight this season and she can retire from MMA for the rest of her life. And she will never work again. Remember, Kayla made many millions in the last 2-3 years, right? She's the pound for pound, the greatest fighter of all the time, female fighter of all time we ever seen. We talked about Ronda beating grown man. Kayla beat grown man. What happened if Kayla meets Juliana Pena in the street? What's gonna happen? What happened if Kayla meets Juliana Pena in the cage? We know what happened, right? And I like Juliana, I respect Juliana. Nobody gave Juliana a chance against Amanda. Kayla will be Juliana Pena, Amanda Nunes, Chris Cyborg, all on the same night. And I'm not promoting. This is not the WWE. This is what I say. I manage more champion in history than anybody. I understand what champion, I understand talent, I understand everything. You understand? I understand everything. You know, Kayla Harrison is nobody born have been like her. She's the only woman in history in the US, man or woman, to win an Olympic gold medal in judo, back to back. How many medals Juliana Pena has won? And I like Juliana, but Juliana should not come out and talk about Kayla fighting tomato can. You understand? That's it.
Do you think we'll see Kayla against Chris Cyborg, who is a free agent later this year? And even if she's with Bellator, you know, PFL has said we're willing to co-promote. You know, we'll do that fight if Bellator does it. I know you have a good relationship with Scott Coker and Bellator. You got a great relationship with PFL as well. Do you think we'll see that fight at some point, Harrison Cyborg?
The king of co-promoting is only one and only is Scott Coker. He's the guy. He always does that, right? PFL is very flexible. I think I need to get two guys in the room and who can also don't talk about it. Because if Cyborg's, you know, maybe Cyborg doesn't need to come PFL, but if she come, okay. Maybe you can do co-promote. Why not? And it's doable. PFL will do it. Scott Coker will do it. But you have to put some respect on Scott Coker's name. You understand? Like, you know, you have to, right? Listen, what about my man Corey Anderson? I never managed the Bellator champion, you know, become a champion. You know,
Friday night.
After my surgery, I have a surgery here. I have it. I'm flying to watch Corey become the UFC Bellator light. For me, he's the UFC champion too, because he beat the champ. You understand? He beat the champ. He's the best light heavyweight on the planet. I think Bellator light heavyweight division is second to nothing. I think Corey Anderson is gonna make this man tired and is gonna finish him in the third round and fourth round. This is my humble opinion.
And of course, that's Friday night. Corey Anderson versus Vadim Nemkov for the light heavyweight title. You also have Aaron Pico on that card up in San Jose, who, you know, he got off to a little bit of a rough start in his career, but he's rounding into form, and I feel like still he's one of the most talented men in the 145-pound division. Are you looking forward to a step up in competition for Aaron this year?
Listen, I never reach you guys about management. He was 4-3 coming off 2 losses. I thought I reached out to him because I know I could have helped this man. He doesn't really need me. He just needs some peace, right? He's 5-0 together. And one of my biggest accomplishments is Aaron Pico. Aaron Pico, he's top 2 or 3 at 145 today in the gym. I see Aaron Pico play with UFC champions in the gym, play with them. You know, he's the best talent I ever seen. And I managed Kamaru Usman, Khabib, Islam, Aaron Pico, and Umar Nurmagomedov, the best talent at this age I ever seen in my life. Some of the things these guys do, I never see anybody do. You understand? Aaron Pico was supposed to fight Jeremy Kennedy. Germany got injured. Now he's fighting a rate replacement. You know, it wasn't his fault. He was going to fight a ring guy. At the end of the day, you know, listen, I can see him become a Bellator champion by the end of the year. I really do. He's ready. He's graduated. Bellator gave him the time to grow. He needed the time. He needed the experience. The same thing was said about Khamzat. Khamzat now, he won experience more than money and hype. You know, people saying now Khamzat is not good anymore, but they didn't understand. He just needed experience. Make him grow. You understand? But you know, that's about it, man. You know, it's Kayla. Everybody wanted Kayla. The WWE wanted Kayla. ASW wanted Kayla. Huh?
That's what I wanted to ask you about, because I want to see Kayla versus Cyborg. I want to see her versus Amanda Nunes. I want to see her against Juliana Pena. But ultimately, at the end of her career, I want to see her do some professional wrestling.
Listen to me.
She'd be amazing.
If Kayla Harrison, I understand Dan Lambert is good as a manager. But if me and Kayla Harrison went WWE, we'll both will go to prison for a long time, because all these fake wrestlers there that will get beat up so bad include Vince McMahon. We'll beat them all up because it's not gonna be it's gonna be real fit TV. AAW, WWE, all the stuff. But guess what? I don't got time for that now. But maybe in the future will happen. Can you imagine me suplexing Vince McMahon and his old ass and get on top, put him in a reverse triangle, and I put him to sleep? You first time you see a 40 years old choking out 100 years old in a triangle.
Well, I would definitely watch that, Ali, and thank you for taking the time out. I really appreciate it. Good luck in surgery, and good luck traveling up to San Jose later this weekend. And we'll talk to you soon.
Awesome, brother. Awesome. Thank you.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN Plus.